cut to a quick break, a 30-second break. And when we come back, I will have your COVID update as well as everything that's going on in the political landscape. We'll be right back, right after this.
And now, without further ado, the man we've all been waiting for, T-Jam D. Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back. All right. Now your COVID update, because we're still in the middle of a pandemic. So we have officially had 7.7 million people test positive for COVID. That means almost 8 million people here in the U.S. has tested positive. So that actually means there's a lot more people who are positive and have not been tested. But 7.7 million people have tested positive so far for COVID. It's been 200,014 deaths from COVID so far. So over 200,000 people have died, and we are moving right along with COVID. So that's unfortunate, but that seems to be the case, that we're moving right along, despite the fact that COVID is worse now in America than it was when we shut down the country. And I'm not suggesting that we shut down the country again, but I am suggesting that we did not shut down the country early enough or with the strictest guidelines that needed to be shut down. My unprofessional opinion is that we should have shut down the country in February, and we should have made it a stricter shutdown. Like, there was way too many people like myself considered to be an essential worker, and we were not essential. I work at a company that makes cardboard boxes. Oh, they sometimes even argue about whether they even make cardboard boxes. They'll tell you that it's corrugated boxes, not cardboard. Cardboard is a shoebox, and we make giant box. I'm like, whatever, dude. Seriously, shut up. Okay, it's still cardboard. Don't matter. It don't have to be a shoebox. That ain't the only definition for cardboard. So, but anyway, I digress. We were considered essential workers, and I worked all the way through the pandemic, still working. I was glad to be working, but we weren't essential. The reason we were still working is because a lot of people ordering things online now. That means business is booming for companies that make boxes, because, you know, you're shipping a lot of stuff and they got to have something to put it in. So a lot of companies are buying boxes so they can ship their items that people are ordering online, especially Amazon. Amazon's business was grown through the pandemic exponentially because of, you know, everybody ordering things online. So people will get as much things brought to their house as they possibly can, as you can see with the emergence of Uber Eats and DoorDash, which I got a niece who's so excited to order DoorDash. I mean, to me, I don't see what the big deal is. But then again, she doesn't have a car. So if she wants to eat out, she has DoorDash, which, again, I don't want to do any advertising for DoorDash necessarily, but she's got this deal with DoorDash. She only pays $9.99 a month for DoorDash, but then again, all the items of food cost a little bit more with DoorDash, so you're going to pay for it. But it's convenient, and that's the way we like it as Americans. Bring me my food or whatever it is conveniently to my front door. Bring me my, whatever items you're ordering. Bring them here. So my idea, or would have been, if I was had any say so over it, would be that as soon as the president found out about COVID in January, he would have closed the border and told all Americans that are outside of the country, come back into the country at once, or you will be closed out for a couple of weeks at least. Long enough to quarantine, not forever. Not going to keep, kick you off the earth, but I would not let you back in the country. Even if you were an American citizen, I would say stay where you are long enough to quarantine. 2 weeks. If you don't want to do that, come back into the country immediately. That's what I would have done. Bring these people back to the country immediately. In January, I would have said that if I was president. I'll give you a good 3 days to get yourself back in this country, and we are closing the borders to everywhere, not just China, which didn't work, by the way. And I know Vice President Pence said, well, tell all the millions of people who we said, shut up. You didn't save anybody's life. There could have been more people dead if we hadn't. Shut up, flyhead. If you had done nothing, yeah, sure, there would have been more people dead. But don't brag about what you did do if it wasn't nearly enough and it didn't work. Okay, you were trying to stop or slow the virus from spreading here in the U.S., and that didn't work because we got more infections than everybody in the world. Stop bragging about something that didn't work. So they should have shut the border to every country and told all the Americans who were outside the country, return to America immediately or you will be closed out for 14 days. That was the incubation, and there's an incubation period. Apparently you can catch COVID and it has to build up in your system before you can test positive for it. Like, you can have COVID for 3 or 4 days and test negative still because the COVID hasn't built up. Like the COVID, the little microscopic, COVID bugs are in there partying and kicking it and having sex with each other, and they're having a kid producing more COVID bugs. And you got to get so many of them. They got to build up in your system before you can even test positive. That's something I didn't know until the president tested positive. Him and the first lady tested positive for COVID. I had no idea. Okay, that there's a period where you catch COVID and still test negative for 4 days, they say, incubation period. So they don't even know when the president contracted COVID, probably at the super spreader event that he had announcing his new choice for Supreme Court justice, trying to rush that one in so they can get her in there before the election, so the president can use having conservative justices in place to steal the election. So he's already told us what he's going to do is, no matter if he loses or not, he's going to say that the election was fraudulent and that he wants it overturned by the Supreme Court. which is not funny, actually. But the fact that we have this president, this man who is president, as president, and people voted for him, knowing that he is a crooked man. He's a corrupt president who's just going to do whatever he needs to do to try to stay in power. And that's really all he cares about right now, is just trying to remain president. Doesn't matter. To him, it doesn't even matter how that happens. It doesn't matter if it's by getting votes, electoral college votes, or if he is able to pull a fast one and get the Supreme Court to declare him president, or he can get the election overturned, the results of it, and just stay president while they're arguing about it. I mean, the nerve of this guy. I mean, and I can't believe that some of you still want him as the president. He's totally destroying your democracy. But, you know, that's your choice. If that's what you want, that's what you want. I don't understand why you would want that. But that is what some people seem to prefer, is President Trump to head up the union. I don't know. It seems funny to me because he's unfit. That's apparent. But we're going to see what happens. And I myself voted early. I went out yesterday. Today is the 11th. I went out yesterday and voted early. Actually, I got an absentee ballot sent to me in the mail. So this was my plan to avoid the post office, because I knew that the president was trying to destroy the post office. So what I did was got an absentee ballot sent to my house. It arrived on Saturday, or probably arrived on Friday. I just didn't check the mail. So it arrived on the 9th. Yes, today's the 11th, on Sunday. My absentee ballot arrived on Friday, and I got it out of the mail on Saturday. I filled it out. I put it back in the envelopes, because they send you 2 envelopes, actually. I don't know why they send you 2, but they do. I think one of them is just, it has instructions on it, but you put the ballot inside the one envelope, and then you put that envelope inside of another envelope to mail. So the second envelope, has the Board of Elections in your town, wherever you live. And I know, if you live in a big city, they probably got more than one Board of Elections. They probably got 4 or 5 of them placed in different areas around the city, if it's a big city. Where I live, we only got one Board of Elections that I know of. So you fill out your ballot for absentee ballots, and it's 23 days from the election. So they send the ballot early. I don't know if this is the exact same time in every presidential election that they send a ballot. I know they always send it early, though, a couple weeks early. This is actually 3 weeks early, so they gave you plenty of time to fill out your ballot and get it back in the mail. But I chose not to put mine in the mail because I don't want any screw ups with the president trying to destroy